Hey guys, today's video is coming from The Making of Star Wars A New Hope, Chapter 2, Fighting Words. Now, this was also turned into a comic mini-series, so I'm going to show images of that too in this video. Now, as I continue going through the first rough draft that George Lucas had for Star Wars back in the early 70s, I've finally come to the introduction of the Black Knight of the Sith. You might be thinking about Darth Vader, but it's not actually. His name is Prince Valorum. Yeah. This is the character that turned into Darth Vader, but he is a military general working for the Empire. Prince Valorum is the Sith Lord. He is after a 60-year-old Jedi general named Luke Skywalker. Anakin Starkiller is General Luke Skywalker's young apprentice, and though neither he nor Luke have any family connection to Prince Valorum, the Sith Lord's arc, like Vader's from the movies, is one of redemption. But this is Lucas's first take on a Sith, other than the nameless one Anakin and his father, Kain Starkiller, killed in the beginning of this draft. Princess Leia is also in the story. She and Anakin are falling for each other, but the thing is Anakin is 18, but Leia is supposed to be 14, so yeah, there's that. Meanwhile, back in the palace, General Vader meets with Prince Valorum, a Black Knight of the Sith whose goal is to track Skywalker. As the heroes continue their trek, a romance develops between Anakin and Leia. I know this sounds totally weird, doesn't it? But this is the original one. This is like how it was like maybe supposed to start off, according to the Making of Star Wars official book, A New Hope, Chapter 2. The speeders stop on a bluff overlooking a small cantina on the outskirts of Gordon. The spaceport can be seen in the distance. The general, Luke Skywalker, takes one of the speeders to the cantina. A fight erupts there when the general is attacked by 3 creatures. He cuts the arm off one, cuts a rodent creature in 2, and slices a multi-eyed creature from chin to groin. An observer leaves the cantina, and Skywalker, in an alley outside, meets Han Solo, a huge green-skinned monster with no nose and large gills. Han's original alien origins is what inspired the look for Zeb in the Rebels TV show. As for the underage romance, just be glad this wasn't the shooting script. Luke Skywalker, playing the proto-Obi-Wan role, butchering the aliens in the cantina is a bit brutal compared to what we got in Mos Eisley in the film, but it's still pretty cool. But maybe not so family-friendly, but I did tell you that Prince Valorum's story would mirror our Darth Vader's in a way. Well, let me skip ahead towards the end. When Luke Skywalker attempts his second attack on the Death Star, R2-D2 projects an image of the Death Star fortress, which Skywalker and Anakin study. They have enough seized starships to attack, but not enough pilots. Skywalker decides to teach the Wookiees to fly. Within the Death Star, Vader interrogates Princess Leia. Anakin goes undercover to the Death Star. R2-D2 punches his claw arm into the computer socket, and that's quotations, and finds out where the princess is being held, much like the film. Anakin disguises himself as a stormtrooper after punching one out. He fights with one of the others, but is trapped and gassed. Vader tells Valorum to kill him. Meanwhile, Skywalker leads 9 starships in the attack on the Death Star. The ships have been painted in colorful Wookiee designs. Within the Death Star, Valorum has a change of heart, realizing that the Jedi are nobler than the bureaucrats. He helps Anakin escape, and they rescue the princess together. The trio escapes via a chute into a trash compactor, but the walls close in on them. Fortunately, Skywalker's aerial attack knocks out the power, and they're able to get out. Vader wants to abandon ship, but Governor Hodak won't depart. Valorum, Anakin, the princess, and R2-D2 climbed into the life pods and escaped.
And had arrived on Sulukamai.
The Death Star explodes.
When Plagueis goes to Sulukamai,
Prince Valorum saves our heroes and escapes alive with them. His redemption didn't take 3 movies, but it did take place on the Death Star, as did Vader's in Return of the Jedi. Without Vader's redemption, Luke would have died at the Emperor's hands, literally. So, Lucas dropped Prince Valorum, but clearly had a redemption arc in mind for his main villain, right from the beginning. Of course, it's much more emotional that it's a father's love for his son that frees him and not suddenly realizing the Jedi are noble. But I thought it was cool to see how the ideas were already in George's head from the get-go. If this had been a movie, what would the sequels be like? Would they focus on Prince Valorum fighting against his former Sith allies and the Emperor? Or would he have been dropped and Anakin and Luke would have to deal with some new Sith menace? Now, I've finished with the rough draft for A New Hope, but I think I'm going to go over some parts of Lucas's second rough draft. There are some pretty cool things in there, including Luke and Vader dueling it out on the surface of the Death Star, which is pretty sweet. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this video. Vader wasn't actually supposed to be Luke's father in the original. draft, the first draft of A New Hope. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Now, fulfill your destiny.